Kettleman's Bagels is proud to support Grill This, Smoke That. Kettleman's, makers of wood-fired Montreal-style bagels using only premium ingredients. With 3 Ottawa locations, Kettleman's menu is available 24/7, 365 days a year. Grill This, Smoke That is generously supported by Oven Brothers, makers of handcrafted Canadian-made wood-burning outdoor ovens for inspired chefs. Visit us at ovenbrothers.ca. Oven Brothers, from our family's backyard to yours.
Grill This, Smoke That is brought to you by Furtado Farms. For all your outdoor cooking needs, they're your premium source for cookwood. Whether it's pellets, chips, chunks, or logs, they've got you covered. Visit furtadofarms.ca for more info.
There's nothing better than poutine and smoked meat.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, if you're talking about a Montreal staple, we've got it right here. So we've got glorious rice pudding, light, fluffy, and you called it what?
It's Montreal risotto.
The Montreal risotto.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. Now, we've got these glorious little golden raisins or sultanas.
Yeah, you can use anything you want.
And you know what? It's the great debate. Do we put raisins in rice pudding? Do we not?
I like it with raisins.
So do I.
My wife doesn't.
Now, if we wanted to take it one step further, we could actually take those raisins and actually soak them in maybe a spiced rum.
Sure.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking of other little ways to actually increase on. Actually, no, it's beautiful just the way it is.
You know what? I grew up with Italians in Montreal, and they would take raisins and they would put them in their own homemade grappa.
Wow.
And so after you take a couple of shots, you have the raisins at the back end, and it's delicious. Actually, and it flavors the grappa. It gives us this beautiful raisiny taste. And
right.
Grappa is made from the skin of grapes and everything else.
So it ties it all in.
Ties it all in.
That's fantastic. And of course, next on our agenda would be poutine.
Yes.
So assembly of poutine. There are some staples that we have to adhere by, and one is fresh curds.
So you want to get curds. You have to use curds.
Yep.
Do not use mozzarella.
No.
You want something when you're eating it, it squeaks on your teeth, and that's what you want.
Okay.
And you want to do the double dip French fries.
Yes. So,
Always.
So we're blanching the fries to start off with.
Yep.
And we're letting them rest.
Yep.
And then we throw them back in the fryer to crisp up.
Yep.
A lot of people just drop their fries in the basket and they walk away. Oh. You can't get a proper French fry if you do that. It's got to be essentially blanched. Yep. It's got to be par cooked, let to cool for a certain amount, and then it's dropped back. So when you go to your fry stands, you're going to see all these French fries that are all loose. Well, those have all been essentially cooked once before.
Yep.
And they finish them in the basket. And when they finish them in the basket, it's like 5-10 minutes, and they're good to go. And they're golden and crisp, just like these are. And of course, you can use different potatoes. You can use different colors. We used a few different potatoes here just to change up the colors.
Yep.
And we essentially throw the curds on and gravy.
That's it.
And the gravy. Oh my God.
Bone marrow.
I know, bone marrow gravy.
Yeah.
It's something that's a little bit more luscious and unctuous and rich. But when you're having this and you're cooking at home, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
So why don't we pour some of that delicious gravy on the fries?
Okay.
Throw
so
some. Yeah.
So we got to get the curds on it.
Okay.
Excuse my hands.
No, absolutely. If the hands are clean, the hands are the best tools on earth.
So we're going to get lots of curds on it.
Yeah, look at that.
We're going to use them all.
Why not? Absolutely. They're there, so let's use them.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so we got that.
Yeah.
And we're not going to...
You left some.
All right.
You left some.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
And then we're not going to use a ladle. We're just going to drizzle this all over.
Seriously.
Oh, yes.
Get me a really nice cold beer.
Yep.
And I'm so happy with that, it's not even funny. And chefs, we cook all these amazing things, and we go out of our way to make people really happy during your service.
Yeah.
And what do we go out for at the end of the night? that.
Simple food.
Simple food.
It's always the best.
A few ingredients cooked properly and done in a way that is really enjoyable.
Yep.
Now, the big slab of meat in front of us has been smoking for a total of 16 hours, 220 degrees. It's glorious.
The main part of this, Steph, is the brining. And like you said, you brined it for several days. And the reason why you brine it is so that you can get the osmosis going.
Right.
Am I using a technical word? It's just basically you're taking the juices out of the meat and then it's bringing it back in. So a lot of people think when you put salt on a meat, it dries it out.
No.
It takes it out and then you bring it back in. That's called osmosis.
Mind you, if you leave it in the brine too long,
Yes,
it can go rubbery.
I heard something like that.
Yeah, we were talking about turkeys earlier.
Right, yes.
And we discussed how leaving it in the brine is actually counterproductive. It'll actually hurt the product.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a dry cure, and we're essentially putting all the cure on it and leaving it in the fridge for 10 days.
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't want to use all of the nasty stuff in a wet brine, you could always use naturals like celery juice, things that actually would do the exact same thing as the nasties out there in a really nice way.
Yep.
And another thing, if the smoked meat is not pink, it's no big deal. There's probably a reason why it's pink, whether it's chemically induced or whether it's a natural process.
Sodium nitrate.
Sodium, there you go. We're going to say it. Sodium nitrate.
That's it.
That's what's causing the pink.
Yeah.
So our smoked meat will be delicious and tender and be full of that absolutely incredible juiciness. And we were looking at it, and the fat is literally, like, look at this. Look how it's moving.
So,
it's just gorgeous.
And after we took it off the smoker, we put it in a steamer for 3 hours.
That's a very important thing.
It's hugely important.
Yeah, hugely important. So it came off the smoke, we suspended it over water, and we put it in the grill, and we steamed it. And it needs to steam for at least 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to loosen everything up. It's going to allow us to carve it properly. And when you go up to it, it should almost feel like Jell-O. A really properly cooked brisket has that jiggle.
Yeah.
You know, that sexy little jiggle that tells you that everything's right. Again, like Craig mentioned earlier, in Montreal, they'll want the fatty part. The tourists will want the lean. So where is the dividing line? Well, it's essentially right in the middle. The muscle essentially goes down. So this fat cap, oh God, look at it. It just wants to fall apart.
Hurry up.
I am. So we're going to give it one cut right down the center. And then you'll have the lean. As you can see right underneath, look at the juice. Look at the juice. Look at the juice. Look at the juice. And what you're doing is you've got all the fatty part down here. You've got the lean part right here. And of course, over here, oh yeah, look at this. So you've got
That's the flavor.
That is the flavor, all of that. And I wouldn't normally squeeze a roast because you're actually squeezing all that lovely liquid out of the meat. So I just wanted to show you. I'm going to put this back down. And honestly, I have to.
So the big debate, Steph, is a thin cut or a thick cut?
You know what? I went with a medium cut.
All right.
Yeah. So essentially, that's what you're looking for, is when you put it over your finger, it should drape.
Yeah.
Without falling apart. That's a perfectly cooked brisket. And also, when you pull it apart, there should be a little bit of tug. Let's try that.
All right. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Awesome.
All we need is a little bit of rye bread, some Dijon mustard, and I think that this is just like smoking nirvana. Craig, absolute pleasure. Sharing Quebec with you, especially Montreal. Your stories were great. I value you as a great friend. I'll keep eating your bagels forever and a day. And I just want to thank you for being a guest here on Grill This Smoke That. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, Steph. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time on Grill This Smoke That. it.